Hey guys, welcome back to Sky Talks Books. My name is Sky. So I wasn't planning to make a video today. This is very impromptu, but something very exciting just happened. I just got tagged for the first time ever. I got tagged by Shannon from Shannon's Bookish Musings, and thank you so much. That makes me feel really warm and special inside. So the tag is the Book Snob Tag, and I suppose there's a series of questions, and I guess by the end of this video we will have sort of an idea of whether or not I am a book snob. I know I'm not a regular snob. Like I just found out about cheese and crackers like 2 years ago, so I'm definitely not a snob. But anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, format snob. You can only choose one format in which to read books for the rest of your life. Which one do you choose? Physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks? I mean, I feel like a real snob would add a fourth version, and that is scrolls. Maybe you read your books via the original like scrolls that they were written on. But yeah, I guess in a perfect world without money restrictions or space restrictions, I would choose physical books every time. Listen, sometimes when I'm feeling blue, when I'm feeling down in the dumps, I will go and I'll hold my books. You know, you're just not going to get that experience from an e-reader. But I do mostly read on my tablet, and that's just because I don't own books a little bit illegally. But also I have this weird fear of like acquiring too many books, because in the back of my mind it's always an option to fake my death and start a new life. And but it's just okay. We're just gonna try and stay on track right now. Okay, next question. Adaptation snob. Do you always read the book before you see the movie? Sometimes I'll want to read the book after I see the movie or the TV show. I really enjoy, for instance, one of my all-time favorite shows maybe was Big Little Lies. And that's based on a book by Leanne Moriarty. And I want to get around to reading the book. So I guess it's just whatever I come across first. I'm not going to see a movie that I want to watch and then be like, no, I'm not going to watch that because I haven't read the book yet. So I think so far we're not very snobby. But also, what's wrong with being a snob? By not wanting to be a snob, are we being a snob towards snobs? You know what I mean? Ship snob. Would you date or marry a non-reader? What a question! Great. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I would. Like, they would have to read in some capacity. Whether that's manga or comic books or even if it's like children's pop-up books. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. Imagine if you went home with a guy or a girl for the first time and they've got this sprawling bookshelf and every single book is just a children's pop-up book. So yeah, no, but I think no matter what, whether they're a reader or not a reader, they have to be willing to discuss books. And that's more likely if they're a reader. Genre snob. You have to ditch one genre, never to be read again for the rest of your life. Which one do you ditch? Maybe it's a tie-up between romance and fantasy. I think I'm gonna say romance, but to be fair, I haven't read a lot of romance. I read The Love Hypothesis, which you can check out my in-depth review if you like. And I didn't hate that. Oh, no, I did hate it, but I enjoyed hating it. And I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and I really actually did enjoy that. That's because it kind of fulfilled some teenage long forgotten fantasy that I had of taking in a homeless guy, another teenager, and feeding him soup. And that to me was the peak of romance. So yeah, I'm gonna say maybe fantasy, because I'm not all that interested in fantasy, to be honest. Especially high fantasy. I just can't get into it. Just because I feel like fantasy doesn't have the same emotional weight. Maybe I haven't given it enough of a go. Community snob. Which genre do you think receives the most snobbery from the bookish community? And unfortunately, yeah, it is romance. But that's because most of the romance books are just poor. They're not very well written. I mean, I guess they're well written within their genre, but if you compare it to a literary fiction book about the same topic, about a relationship, it's just worlds apart. But I guess they both fulfill a different function, you know what I mean? Romance books really are just about turning off your brain. and not having any deep realizations, not having any emotions, really, other than like, his arms are so big, you know? I don't actually think romance books receive that much snobbery from the community. Like, if I had to choose a genre, it would be that. But in general, I think the bookish community here on BookTube and on Book Talk and on Bookstagram and Book Pinterest and Book Twitter, we're all very loving, accepting people who just are, yeah, very non-snobby, I think. It's probably the least snobby community in the world. Uber genre snob. You can only choose to read one genre for the rest of your life. Which genre do you choose? And yeah, I guess it's gonna have to be literary fiction, just because you have more, I mean, it's a very broad genre. Like, it's a bit rubbish, because I wouldn't want to read only one genre for the rest of my life, because, like, you get sick of it, you know? Like, I've definitely recently gone through a phase where I'm sick of literary fiction. It's just too much sometimes. And now I'm just reading, like, weird horror books. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with literary fiction. Does that include classics, actually? Are classics included in the literary fiction genre? Snobbery recipient. Have you ever been snubbed for something that you've been reading or for reading in general? Like, no, actually that's never happened to me. I have been the recipient of snobbery in, like, most other things, like, it's like life in general, I feel like. Like, literally everything else I've been recipient of snobbery. Music, for instance. Which I think is very low-hanging fruit. Like, look, yeah, I like pop music. It's not the only genre that I like, but I like pop music. It's good to dance to. It makes me feel good. And TV shows, like, yeah, I will rewatch The OC every year, and One Tree Hill, and Gossip Girl. So yeah, that's it. Am I a book snob? You decide. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I'm a snob? Also, let me know if you have, like, a collection of kids' pop-up books. I'll show you my dog. Please don't be a snob about my dog. She's a collie, but she's not a real collie. Hello. Hi, honey. Hi, I know. You're not a real collie, are you? Oh, the camera loves you, baby. Paw? 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 Okay, whatever.